Hello, scientist. Today, we are going to be working like a scientist, and we're going to be learning about claim, evidence, and reasoning. C stands for claim, E for evidence, and R for reasoning. So let's learn what those are. Today, I will learn how scientists use claim, evidence, and reasoning as they work, so that I can understand how to write a claim, give evidence to support a claim, and provide reasoning to explain my claim. I will know I've got it when I can match a claim with supporting evidence and reasoning. Now, that's a lot of information in that target. So basically, today we're going to be writing a claim, or we're going to learn how to write a claim, give evidence to support that claim, and then provide reasoning to explain our claim. So maybe you have heard as a reader, what's your evidence? So think about a time that you've been reading, and maybe your reading teachers ask you when you've chosen an answer, what was your evidence? What was your proof for your answer? So what does that mean? What's your evidence? What does what's your evidence mean in reading class? So think about that for a minute. And maybe you're thinking evidence is what I underline in the passage. Maybe you're thinking evidence is my proof that the answer is A, or the answer is B, or C, or D. Think about maybe a detective. Detectives work and they try to solve a crime or a mystery, and they have to find evidence. What's your proof that this is what happened? So lots of different people use evidence, not just scientists. But today we're going to talk about using evidence as a scientist. So to get us started today, we are going to watch a video that's called Learning About CER. That's our abbreviation for claim, evidence, and reasoning. So in our video, as you watch, I want you to think, how do scientists explain their thinking or what they are learning to others? So you'll have a link to this video. It looks like this. Just a second.
Learning about.
And it's not a very long video, but it's learning about claim, evidence,
and
reasoning. Okay? So as you watch, I want you to be thinking, how do scientists use this every day? After you've watched, come back to the teacher video. Oops, sorry about that. Hold on just a second. Now let's talk about claim, evidence, and reasoning. So this year we've already worked with a balloon before, but today when we work with our balloon, we're going to be thinking about this. So a claim, let's just review what a claim is. So in our video, we learned that a claim answers a question, okay? A claim answers a question in one complete sentence. There's our, what is a claim? Now, evidence is the information collected or observed that supports the claim. That's what evidence is. And you're going to have some things today that you're going to glue in your notebook to help you remember what claim, evidence, and reasoning are. That's evidence. The R stands for reasoning. Reasoning is where you explain how the evidence supports the claim. Use your brain and your vocabulary. So, I've got this question today, and we're going to work through it. Let's talk about a claim. Is air matter? Now, the first thing I would think of when I'm trying to develop my claim is I would be thinking, what are the characteristics of air? Is air a solid? No. Is air a liquid? No. Is air a gas? Yeah, I think so. Well, what are my states of matter? So think back to maybe second grade, first grade, third grade, and we've talked about the different states of matter. We know there's solids, like your desk at school, it's a solid, a liquid, the water in a water bottle, and a gas. The air that's in this room right now, that's a gas. So, is air matter? Matter takes up space. Matter has a weight. So here's a balloon, and I'm trying to determine, is air matter? So coming out of my mouth to my hand is some air. Let me try putting some of that air in this balloon. I'm going to tie it off so that I can trap that air in the balloon. Because if I don't tie it, then the air is going to come out of the balloon. You guys have seen that happen before. So we're back to, let's talk about a claim. I've been asked a question. Okay, so here's what a claim is. A claim answers a question in one complete sentence. So, can I say that air is matter? It is a gas. Can I make that as my claim? Sure, it can. Because remember, a claim just answers a question in one sentence. Air is matter. It is a gas. It is a matter called a gas. Okay? Now, what's my evidence? What's my proof? So I have to think about what I know about air. I know that air takes up space, and I know that air may have a weight, we know that matter takes up space. We know that matter can have a weight. When we're talking about a gas, it's a little bit more difficult to weigh a gas, but this balloon does feel different than it did before I blew it up. So, did air take up space? Yes. If I laid this on a scale, would it possibly have a weight? Yes, it might. And then our reasoning. So our reasoning is, how do I explain this as a scientist? So when I'm talking about reasoning, the R part, reasoning is where you explain how the evidence supports the claim. Use your brain and vocabulary. So what I can say is that there are 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, gas. And because each state of matter takes up space, and I also know that when I'm talking about the state called gas, that the particles are moving around. So as I blew up the balloon, the particles in my air made the balloon get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I can explain scientifically what happened when the balloon got bigger. So, claim, evidence, and reasoning. These are our vocabulary words for today. A claim is, what do we know? Evidence, how do you know that? And then reasoning is, why does your evidence support your claim? How does that evidence support your claim? What's the scientific reason? See, reason. why this is happening. So why did this balloon get bigger and bigger and bigger as I blew it up? Because I moved the air from me into the balloon, and that air is a gas, and a gas takes up space, and it made the balloon expand. So today, you're going to be working during our guided practice, adding things to your notebook, just because as a scientist, we will be using claim evidence and reasoning often. So you're going to have something that looks like this. Okay, claim evidence reasoning. And you're just going to be adding them to your science notebook. Whoops, let me move this up for a minute. You're going to be adding this to your science notebook. And when you're finished, it's going to look like this. And then tomorrow, we will work on a claim evidence reasoning about plants. See you then.